Oh hey, didn't see you there.
Yo, what up? It's Say My Name.
Yo, what's up? It's Cream.
What's up, guys? This is Riot.
This is Blunts and Blondes.
My name's Allison Wonderland.
Sullivan King here.
Yo, this is Hesh.
This has been TRILLVO.
You're watching TRILLVO.com.
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 You're logged into TRILLVO.com.
And you're watching TRILLVO.com.
Disillusionize me, Captain.
Hey, this is Cena with TRILLVO, and we're sitting down with Mike, better known by his DJ and producer name, INZO. It's his last stop on the Universal Wub Tour, and thank you so much for sitting down with me. I know it's been really crazy, and I really appreciate it. When I was writing your write-up on angst, and you answered some of my questions, I read some of your responses, and I thought this would be so much better in person, because you had a lot to say. And
You jumped it.
let's talk about this tour. This is the last stop, so how's it been with LS Dream and the shows?
Well, him and Schlump are incredibly humble and very caring, very nice, and I'm very grateful. They're very inspiring because they kind of understand, being in that opening slot, and for some of the dates, I'd be playing at doors, and they're like, "Oh, if you want to start like 5 minutes later, and like we'll take out like 5 minutes of our back-to-back or whatever, 5 or 10 minutes," and that's just that's
wow, that's
really
nice.
That's really nice.
Some of theirs at time.
Absolutely. So I'm very grateful, and they definitely have some wisdom and that they've been sharing with me. So it's nice.
Yeah, I saw your loving shout out tweet that you gave to them today.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was that's where my head's been at. So that's how I really feel. So.
Really awesome.
Yeah.
So I know that you're classically trained in piano and you've been playing the drums since you were younger. How did you get started in music? Like, how did you get with that?
I was brutally forced into it as a child by my parents. I had a pretty intense instructor. Some would call him Nazi-like in the way that he was very just very strict.
Do you think you're out of tune?
Yes. Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
I would get kicked out of his class sometimes if he didn't think I practiced. So I definitely had some intense training for classical piano, some competitions. Then I kind of stopped because when you're force-fed something, you kind of don't.
So was it your parents who got you into music?
They got me into it, yeah.
Okay, so they were the ones who wanted you to learn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But then I naturally picked up a passion for drums. I really like drums. So I kind of wanted to do
the opposite of piano.
Yeah, pretty much, or it's another fundamental, I guess, another element. But piano, it's kind of like drums in a sense. You're drumming with your fingers, but melodically. So yeah, I really liked Red Hot Chili Peppers and metal bands and a lot of punk bands, and that got me into drumming a lot for sure. So.
All right, so touching on that, who's some of your top 5 most influential artists?
Man, growing up, I went through every phase in the book. Went through a pretty intense emo phase, a metal phase, punk phase. I liked Green Day. I like Blink. I like the lead singer of Blink, Tom DeLonge's side project, Angels and Airways, which is a super
super emo.
Yeah, I love
Did you wear the eyeliner?
No.
Oh.
No. I looked away because I'm not even sure of that answer, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who knows?
I'm gonna go find an old MySpace photo with the side bang and the rock.
But then I really liked some bands like Under Oath, which is a little more like the metal phase. I still like all this stuff. Don't get me wrong. I call it a phase, but I still listen.
Punk will never die, though.
I can still go back to it. I still really like it all. I liked Green Day. Yeah, I said Green Day, I think, for a bit. I like everything though. Dave Matthews, I think he's insane. That was more Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's what I kind of came up on in grade school. Then Tiesto was actually my first electronic thing I listened in grade school.
Oh, nice.
Tiesto, yeah.
Good old Tiesto.
Tiesto, yeah.
So if you could collaborate, who's your dream collab?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm just kidding. You can ask me that. But I have a few. Some of these are reaches and not real. I wouldn't think realistic by any means, but these are dream collabs. Right? M83, Hans Zimmer, Flume, Getter, Porter, Grizz. Those are some of my top influences, honestly. So it'd be cool to make something with them, but I don't, not really realistic. So
nice. So you play drums, play the piano, and you DJ. Do you sing in the shower?
I can't sing. I have a terrible voice for singing. If you can hear my talking
But
voice,
do you
just
sing? I
imagine
can't
that.
sing either, but I still sing in the shower. My roommates are like, please stop.
I'm a car singer sometimes, for sure.
Oh, okay, cool.
In the car, I'll belt a nice falsetto. I got like a nice Axl Rose sounding falsetto. Not gonna do it for you, but I have one.
Okay.
I swear.
But you did used to dance competitively. Can we see some dance moves
man, that's
now?
one of those questions. How did you know that? I did used to dance and like do some competitions. I could not dance now. I have I can move around, but I think I'm just psychologically not able to dance. So.
This is blocking that memory out. Awesome. Well, so I know you just released your Multiverse EP this year. Congratulations. Let's talk about your creative process. Where do you draw inspiration from for your very unique and beautiful sound?
Well, I think the pretty stuff, like the prettiest side of things, just comes from, playing that classical stuff growing up. I feel like just a natural ear for it. It's my go-to as soon as I start a project. The first thing I'm usually doing is just trying to play something that's just like pretty and atmospheric, and then like the other stuff that's like a little more like harder and funky. That's like me just taking inspiration from other people that I really like and like to listen to, and like let's say I'm at like a festival or like attending a show. I kind of like have I know they have this thing where it's like a visual thing. I forgot. There's like a name for it where people can. They can see sound or see color and sound, something like that. I don't have that, but when I'm like at something, my mind kind of captures like a visual atmosphere, and sometimes I can like go home or to my studio and try to I like make something from that inspired image.
What that
if
image
that makes
sounds
any
like?
sense, yeah.
Okay.
Like what
You
I'm
hear
picturing-
images?
Yeah, if that makes any sense. I have like an image in my head of like something I experienced or like was memorable to me, and I like literally will try to make something that sounds like that image.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's for like some like heavier stuff that I made and like more experimental funk stuff. But the pretty stuff, I don't know. That's just I love like Hans Zimmer, M83, just really pretty epic.
Yeah.
Stuff that'll make you cry. So.
Yeah. So it's your last set on Earth before you get to go to space to a place. What are you opening with, and what are you closing in with?
I'm opening with this unreleased song that I have, and it has no name, but it's a very pretty song that honestly has brought me to some very emotional points while making it, and that is something I've like dreamed about. I don't say dream, but like I've made it a goal to like want to curate my own tour or something where it's a significant show that I want to open up with it. It's not really like anything you dance to by any means, but it's just really pretty, and I want to open up with that. And I close with man. I know I want to say Overthinker, but honestly, I don't know if I close with that. I'll probably have that somewhere in the middle of this set, and I'll probably close with another unreleased one that I have. Maybe it's called. It might be this one called Floating, and it also might be this one that doesn't also have a name. So not the best names.
A bunch of track IDs.
Yeah, a couple IDs that I still think are my best, prettiest work.
Well, hopefully we don't have to wait for your last set to hear them.
No, you'll hear it. I think in 2020. So.
Awesome. So I know you're a huge Elon Musk fan, but also Alan Watts, because you've sampled him a lot. So I wanted to read a few quotes and see if you can guess who said it.
Okay.
Elon or Alan.
Okay. I like this.
This is my llama notebook. Okay. Who said the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance?
Elon Musk.
Alan. Okay. Don't worry, there's a few other chances.
I feel like that's an Elon thing to say. Okay.
They're actually very similar. I was
I
pulling.
know.
Okay, so who said when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor?
That's 100% Elon Musk.
Yes. Okay, cool. Who said if you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not.
Elon Musk.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, this is supposed to be the tricky one, so let's see. Who said technology is destructive only in the hands of people who do not realize that they are one and the same process as the universe?
Well, you say it's a trick question and then the first word was technology. So according to the strategy of taking ACT tests, I'm going to say that it's the opposite of what I would think it would be someone who's involved with technology, aka Elon Musk, which means it's Elon Musk.
Yes!
What a process.
Yes! That's really good. I really thought I was going to stumble with that one.
Oh, man.
Okay, this is the last one. Who said, I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary.
One more time. You say it one more time, sorry.
I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary.
I think it is Elon Musk.
Yes. Yes. Very good.
All right.
So again, since you are such a huge fan of both of them, if you could have lunch with Alan or dinner with Elon, who would it be and why?
Probably Elon, just because he's a little more misunderstood than Alan Watts is. I think. Like I can go and like read a lot of Alan Watts and listen to a lot of Alan Watts, and if I went to lunch or something like that with Alan Watts, I'd just be listening. Where Elon, I would like to be able to ask him some questions and talk with him about some things, and he's doing a lot of things right now. So I feel like Alan Watts, he has everything he's said is out there. All I have to do is just go listen and hear it now.
So what would you ask him? Do you have
Elon
anything in
Musk?
mind? Yeah.
I'd say what the I'd say what the hell's going on with your what is going on with the I guess the Starship program that they're doing for the Mars rocket? Because they're kind of slipping up right now. So
You trying to go to Mars?
no, I just want to watch it happen, and I think it will happen within the next handful of years. But yeah, I'm really curious about that. I don't know, and just I would love to talk about Neuralink. You guys see that Neuralink presentation he did? You know what Neuralink is?
Yeah.
Okay. It is pretty wicked. It's just this interface is going to be connecting your brain with basically this software that they would have. Actually, it wouldn't be a software yet. You're good. It won't be a software yet, but it's for now it would be something that would help with people who have paralysis, because it stimulates some more. What do you want to call them in your brain? Maybe neurons. I forgot whatever they're called. Not neurons, but something else in there.
Yeah.
And it seems just next level, life-changing, world-changing stuff. And I feel like he's always pushing the envelope on innovative things. So I always I think I would want to pick the brain of someone who's that innovative and forward-thinking.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you're a huge space and physics nerd. Do you read physics books or just?
I am not that good at physics. Not that good with math, but I like.
Well, I'm glad I didn't ask you a physics question like I planned.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, 42. That's the answer.
Always.
Yeah, physics was my worst subject too. I don't know how I got through 2 physics classes.
I don't think I would definitely get into it if I wasn't doing music and I think would choose a path. I would definitely try to get into it, but I like the common sense physics stuff, kind of. If there is common sense for it, I think there is. It was an easy subject for me in high school and stuff like that. So, but that's high school stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just like it.
Do you? What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing music? Would it be something in the sciences? Or?
No idea. I have no idea. I couldn't really tell you because I went to school for a year and a half and tried many different majors. Nothing in science. I mean, actually, I was bio pre-med, but that was
Weren't we all?
That was for a literal semester. But that was that's not something I was really interested in. It's not like physics or anything like that. So, but if I had known, I could have gone the route. But I didn't really even know I liked space stuff as much as I do now. So if I could go back, I would maybe try something in the physics and engineering realm of building rockets. Pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's circle back to the music then. So for Angst and Overthinker, I remember the first time I heard Overthinker, my friend had sent it to me, and I listened to it on repeat all day, and I felt really attacked but calm at the same time because I was listening to the voice sample and I was like, wow, this is me. I have really bad anxiety. But then you combined it with this explosion of beautiful music, and it was really calming at the same time. And I know a lot of your fans wanted the follow-up, and so Overthinker kind of had that same vibe. And I wanted you to touch upon, because mental health is so important, not only just mental health as a whole, but mental health in the music industry as well.
Absolutely. And I think that mental health is becoming much more, we're all becoming a lot more aware of it, but I also think it's increasing as well, like simultaneously. So there's just like this explosion, I think, of us like culturally realizing and trying to tackle a lot of things.
Do you think that's increasing our anxiety, like that we're more into it now?
No. I mean, maybe. Honestly, it could, but sometimes you gotta go through that anxiety before you realize how to like fix it and get better. So things tend to have to get worse before they can get better, I think. So that could tie into that. But in the music industry, I can understand why. Social media is just like so toxic, and I think that unfortunately it's a part of interacting and doing things. And I don't know. I can really go into that, but I wouldn't even know the words, or I'm not that best with trying to elaborate on something that is still like there is no like theory about it. It's definitely person to person, but I think social media can be very toxic. Just in general, but the music industry, I guess, going back to that, traveling a lot is like tiring your dietary health, your physical health, your body and mind, they're connected.
Yeah.
Yes, sure, this is a vessel and your mind is like its own thing, but unfortunately the things you give your body and do to your body have an impact on your brain, so.
Well, you had that nice drink earlier, so that should cancel out the last.
I swear.
And then,
the
oh yeah, your nutritional things.
Right.
Yeah. So then, is there anything about the music industry in particular that you would like to change or see change to kind of help with those mental health issues?
Yeah. Man, I don't know what it is though. But I just know that things are the shelf life of music and some music, not all music. The shelf life of a lot of music is becoming so short. The shelf life of a lot of things is becoming very short. And I don't even know if it's like, I really don't think it's the music industry responsible for it. I just literally think it's like just social media.
Yeah.
And everything, I mean, think about it, like not just music, a lot of things in culture.
Yeah, you can get something so fast and.
Exactly, it's just like, what's next? I need stimulation.
Yeah.
I need new music. As soon as a song comes out, I can't wait for the next one. It's like, well, all right, then don't enjoy this one that's gonna be out for a bit. I don't know.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I had more ears to listen to some music, and then someone was like, I wish people would stop putting out so much music so fast. Like, it's so great because like I'm still like months behind on trying to curate my set and like listen to people's things.
Exactly.
And it's just coming out and out and out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. So maybe I guess if people want to make music really fast, put music out, to each their own. But I guess if I were to say to change something, would be to, I don't know, try to have. Again, to each their own. They can do it however they want, but I think some people maybe could slow it down a bit and like. I don't know, enjoy trying to focus on something a little longer, put a little more into it. You guys know Bo Burnham? You know Bo Burnham? Great comedian. I love him. He's actually more just like a performer, an artist, and he doesn't do different like stand-up tours and stand-up like different types of comedy all the time. He did like 1, 2, and like 3 specials, like the same like a performance. It was like once a year for 3 years, something like that, or maybe more, maybe less than that. And each performance was to like the T. Every detail from the first second to the last second was orchestrated, planned, and rehearsed, and everything. But it's just a performance. There's so much put into it. Of course, there's like art and improv and stuff like that. But me personally, I think people can take that philosophy and try to just focus on like a craft a little more in depth.
Like curating music that's gonna last longer, or for people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just not saying they're putting more into it, but like put more time in like.
12. I want to do 12-minute songs from now on, like only 8 12-minute songs.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. It could be a really short song, but just like the detail could be something quite, I don't know, different and more in depth. So, but I think that has to do with people putting out songs so often, is if they're like kind of sticking to a formula, then it's like easier, to get songs out because they already know like, oh, I'm doing this and this. And
Yeah,
this.
like this is what's gonna work. This is what.
Yeah. So.
It's kind of a hard thought. It's like a catch-22, a hard pattern to fall into.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So speaking of music, you have a new EP coming out in 2020.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still in a work. It's in a work. Yeah, it's in work in progress. And it's a lot more cinematic, a lot more pretty.
Hemispheric.
A lot more hemispheric. I have a couple songs that like have no drum percussion or any danceability. They're just like, you can like fall asleep to them. You can like, I don't know, not fall asleep, but you can definitely get lost in a different world that I was like imagining when like doing it. So I think you can kind of hear them from me at least. I've shown a few close friends. They said they can definitely see something from it.
See the images that you're trying.
Yeah, even if it's not my own, something that they come up with, and that's really all I want to do. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more pretty. So I'm working. I'm doing that philosophy of trying to put as much as I can into it, like time. Like
holistic, not just the music, but the entire experience.
Right. Yeah. Exactly, and like really perfecting it. I know like perfectionism is can also be a toxic thing. I'm not trying to perfect it, but to the level in which I am satisfied in how it.
Well, you also have really pretty album artwork and images that you always kind of like release. And the videos, I remember watching a few of your videos and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is really advanced, like really cool and visual, and I loved that about you.
Sweet.
So again, we're wrapping up 2019. What other goals do you have for the next decade of EDM?
I would like to do, I'm aiming for this upcoming fall to do my own tour. And I would like to do it on like a relatively high production level, which is pretty expensive, unfortunately. But I'm gonna find a way to make it happen. I really want to do that this year because, that would be my next big goal would be that, and love to play Electric Forest. That's like my dream festival.
I know. I remember seeing your tweets. I think it'll happen. We just gotta get those retweets going.
Yeah. EDM Twitter is so powerful. 10,000 retweets and I'm there automatically.
So then, since those are your goals for 2019, what are some 2020? What are some things that have defined you as both a person and an artist in the last decade? It doesn't have to. It could be like you headlined House of Blues Chicago, you played with Con, but also things that you got to witness that were kind of eye-opening.
I guess, I think interacting with people who listen and appreciate like my music, even if it's not something I like particularly like, it kind of gives me perspective to trust myself a little more and just do whatever I really like, because it's easy to get influenced by other things and other like things I don't want to be influenced by, whether it's like other people's music or other people's I don't know, just things I don't necessarily want to be influenced by, because that's social media. I think social media can have a negative influence. So I try to like hone in on just the people who I interact with and like listen to my stuff, and I think they really shaped my ability to trust myself more. And I think with that comes like a unique sound.
Yeah. All right. So I really wanted to say thank you. So I got you some gifts.
Oh, thank you so
much. For you to enjoy.
I appreciate that. We're obviously in Texas. I think I just saw a NASA thing in here. Yep, how fitting. Oh, that's awesome. How fitting. More space stuff. Well, I'm definitely going to go to the museum tomorrow. 100%.
Cool.
Thanks so much. I appreciate
of
it.
course.
I appreciate it. Oh my god, NASA socks. Christmas came early. My goodness. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.